In the heart of an ancient forest, where the trees stretch high into the midnight sky and the wind whispers secrets through their branches, there lived a fox. But not just any fox, this was Fay, known throughout the woodland for her grace and cunning. Her coat gleamed silver under the moonlight, as though the stars themselves had dusted her fur. This forest was unlike any other. It was a place of enchantment, where creatures of the night thrived and thrived well. Here, beneath the glowing crescent moon, animals spoke in hushed tones, and every corner hid a mystery waiting to be uncovered. For Fay, the forest was her kingdom. She moved with purpose, her every step precise, her eyes gleaming with the wisdom of the ages. But beneath her calm exterior, there was something to pair a longing, a restlessness she could not quite name. And so, as the world slept, Fay danced. She danced in the moonlight, her paws tracing delicate patterns in the dew-kissed grass. But her midnight dance was more than mere movement. It was a call, a beckoning for something she felt was just out of reach. Tonight, however, was different. Tonight, something or someone was watching. As Fay twirled beneath the stars, her sharp ears twitched. A sound, soft but distinct, echoed from the shadows. She froze mid-step, her gaze darting to the tree line. There, in the distance, the faint glow of golden eyes flickered through the darkness. For the first time in her life, Fay was not alone in her midnight ritual. The presence was neither friend nor foe, but something far more mysterious. The figure emerged, its silhouette tall and unfamiliar, blending seamlessly with the night. It was the wanderer, a being shrouded in legend. He was said to appear when the moon was at its highest, offering those he encountered a choice of path of destiny or desire. The wanderer spoke, his voice like the rustling of leaves in the wind. You dance not for joy, but for something more. Tell me, fox, what is it you seek in this midnight hour? Fay, taken aback, found herself without words. For her, the dance had always been a comfort, an outlet for the yearning she could never quite explain. But now, faced with this stranger and his question, everything changed. Days passed, yet the memory of the wanderer lingered in Fay's mind like a haunting melody. She continued her nightly dance, but now the rhythm was different, weighed down by the possibility of something greater, something more than the life she knew. Fay sought counsel from the other creatures of the forest. The wise all warned her of the dangers of desire, while the sly raven urged her to follow the wanderer's path without hesitation. The deer spoke of balance, reminding her that all choices come with consequences. Yet Fay's heart was conflicted. She yearned for adventure, for something beyond the boundaries of the forest she called home. But she also feared the unknown would if the path led to ruin. Her restlessness grew, and each night her dance became more frantic, more intense. She was caught in a battle between the desire for a change and the comfort of familiarity. The wanderer's words echoed in her mind. What is it you seek? One night, as the moon reached its zenith, Fay made her choice. She stood at the edge of the forest, where the trees gave way to an open field bathed in moonlight. Her heart raced, her breath shallow. She was ready. The wanderer appeared once more, his figure cutting through the night like a shadow. You have chosen, then, he said, his voice filled with a quiet knowing. Fay nodded. I have, she replied, though her voice wavered with uncertainty. The path ahead is not one of ease. But it is yours, the wanderer said, extending his hand. In it, a single silver leaf glistened, glowing faintly in the dark. This will guide you, but it will not decide for you. Fay took the leaf, its cool surface pulsing softly in her paw. The weight of her choice settled over her, and for a moment she questioned whether she had made the right decision. But there was no turning back now. She had chosen to step beyond the comfort of the familiar and embrace the unknown. The forest seemed to close in around her as Fay ventured deeper into the unknown. Shadows twisted and turned, their forms shifting with every step. The path was unclear, the trees more dense than ever before. But Fay pressed on, guided by the silver leaf that glowed faintly in her grasp. Suddenly, the ground beneath her gave way, She tumbled down a steep ravine, landing with a harsh thud. Dazed and disoriented, Faye looked up to find herself in a strange, otherworldly clearing. In the center, a shimmering pool of water glowed with an ethereal light. The air was thick with tension, and Faye knew instinctively that this was the heart of the Wanderer's domain. The Wanderer appeared once more, standing at the edge of the pool. "Here, your journey reaches its peak," he said, his voice a mixture of reverence and finality. "To enter the pool is to commit fully to the path you have chosen. There is no return." Faye hesitated. The water called to her, its surface shimmering like liquid moonlight, but the weight of the moment bore down on her. This was the point of no return. With a deep breath, Faye stepped forward, her heart pounding in her chest. She plunged into the pool, the cool water enveloping her like a second skin. For a moment, all was silent. Then, everything changed. Emerging from the water, Faye felt different, lighter, yet more grounded. The world around her had shifted. The trees no longer loomed as threats, but as ancient guardians. The shadows were no longer menacing, but familiar. She had crossed a threshold, and there was no going back. The Wanderer stood at the edge of the pool, watching her with a knowing smile. "You have danced your last dance as who you were. Now you move forward as who you are meant to be." Faye nodded, understanding dawning on her. She had not just chosen a path, she had chosen herself. The longing that had once consumed her was gone, replaced by a quiet certainty. Faye returned to the forest, but she was no longer the fox who had danced beneath the stars. She was something more, something whole. The creatures of the woodlands sensed the change in her, though none could quite explain it. Faye, however, knew the truth. She had found what she had been seeking all along herself. As the days turned to nights, Faye continued to dance, but now her movements were filled with purpose and joy. The Wanderer's presence lingered in the back of her mind, a reminder that every choice carries its weight, but also its reward. Years passed, and Faye became a legend in her own right. The story of the fox who danced in the moonlight and the Wanderer who guided her was told and retold among the creatures of the forest. And though Faye's midnight dance became less frequent as time went on, the lessons she had learned remained. For Faye had discovered that the journey was not about the destination, but about the steps she took along the way. And in the end, it was those steps that led her home. The silver leaf, now worn and weathered, sat at the edge of the forest, a reminder to those who would come after. The path to becoming is never easy, but it is always worth the journey.